Welcome to today's episode of the Mint Door Podcast. Before we begin, we're excited to introduce you to Refresh, a transformative monthly training program designed specifically for dental professionals facing team conflicts, communication barriers, and burnout. This program is your key to unlocking a purpose-driven, fulfilling life both in and out of the dental office.
Now, Refresh offers practical tools and strategies to overcome stress and barriers, helping you tap into your energy and activate your true potential. Our monthly sessions are tailored to guide you in embracing your journey and excelling in all aspects of life.
Yeah, and there's more. Join our weekly open coaching sessions for deeper insights, peer connections, and expert advice. As life coaches with rich dental backgrounds, we're here to help you discover and confidently use your unique talents every day.
You'll also gain unlimited access to our extensive library of recorded modules from Refresh and guest industry experts. This treasure trove of resources is at your fingertips to help you transition from a stagnant state to a flourishing life full of purpose and joy.
Yeah. So Refresh, your catalyst for a transformative journey professionally and personally.
So now, welcome to today's Mint Door podcast episode. We're thrilled to have you join us as we explore two simple yet powerful questions with our special guest, Dr. Laura Collatz. Today, we will delve into the mind and experiences of our guest as we ask her to share her unique perspective on two fundamental questions.
Yeah, these questions aim to provide you, our listeners, with valuable insights and guidance from someone who has achieved success and recognition in their industry. Whether you're just starting out in your career or a seasoned member of the dental industry, we're sure that Dr. Collatz's perspective and advice will undoubtedly provide valuable insights and inspiration.
So please sit back, relax, and get ready to gain valuable perspective as we dive into these two simple but powerful questions with Dr. Laura Collatz. And here first is a little bit about our guest.
Yeah. So Dr. Collatz has a rich background as a dental hygienist since 1991 and later now as a dentist and practice owner. And she epitomizes resilience and transformation. Her journey, marked by a battle with complex PTSD, resonates deeply with the challenges many of us face in the demanding world of dentistry.
And her story is not just about struggle. It's a narrative of rebirth and empowerment, from managing stress through deep breathing exercises to overcoming a health crisis that paused her career. Dr. Collatz's experience is both inspiring and relatable. What sets her apart is her role as a certified laughter yoga instructor. This unique path has enabled her to turn adversity into strength, using joy and laughter as tools for wellness in our high-stress profession.
I hope we get to laugh during this episode. So join us in welcoming Dr. Laura Collatz, a true embodiment of turning life's challenges into opportunities for growth. Let's dive into an inspiring session filled with insights and the transformative power of laughter with Dr. Collatz on the Mint Door Behind the Mask podcast. Welcome, Dr. Laura Collatz. Hey, Mint Door listeners, we are happy to bring you Dr. Laura Collatz. And Laura, thank you so much for being with us today. It's an honor, and I can't wait to get into this podcast with you.
I'm excited to be here, fellow Laura.
Yeah, right?
Fellow dentist.
Yes, awesome.
Happier, yeah.
Before we start though, we've been visiting a little bit before we push record, and I've been intrigued by there's a fun, colorful wheel behind you, and I just got to know what it is.
So that is my wheel of cheer. I'm gonna scooch back and go get it.
Okay.
It's my firm belief that we need to celebrate every moment we can in life, and in as many goofy ways as possible. So let's spin the wheel of cheer.
And see what the Mint Door gets on the wheel of cheer.
We got snaps, baby. So, okay. Snaps, baby.
Snaps, baby. I love it. What are some of the other ones, just for fun?
So we have hip hip hooray. We have high fives. We have standing ovation. We have my favorite, which is silly dancing.
There's only one kind of dancing, right?
Right. Interpreting silly dancing, standing ovations, golf claps, and giggling.
Nice.
So I'm always on the lookout for different ones to put back in there.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. How often do you use it? Do you use it?
So I try to use it daily.
Okay. Nice.
This comes to work. We use it for our staff meetings. I try to just celebrate everything every day.
Awesome. Thank you. Yay.
Right.
It's so nice. It's so nice to learn ways that people have to spread joy, put people at ease, and maybe reduce tensions that go on in a dental office every day. Now, we wanted to jump right in to our questions with you today, Laura, and we thank you in advance we know that you're going to be vulnerable. What insecurities have you hidden behind that professional mask that we wear, and how have they shaped who you are today? It's a big question.
It really is. And I just had a weekend full of self-reflection. So it's just, I think my answers might even be different than they were, say, last week. I thought I had to do everything perfectly every single time it happened, or I couldn't do it at all. That's been the prevailing theme for my whole life. I had a guitar that sat in the closet for a decade because I couldn't play it. Of course I couldn't play it. I never took it out of the closet. And I finally took lessons, and I told my teacher, I was like, you need to give me a time frame. Tell me how long it's going to hurt my fingers. Tell me how quick I'm going to be able to play something that I know so that I won't give up, because I have an attention span that's about that big. And having that tiny little goal, that little just next, that best next thing to do, that was really helpful. I always thought I had to smile all the time and be accommodating. I always thought I had to make everybody happy. And that led to just my whole body breaking. You can only make everyone but yourself happy for so long, and then there's just nothing left for you. About 6 years ago now, about five and a half years ago, my blood pressure was completely out of control. I couldn't eat. I love food. Okay. And I couldn't eat. It was like when you were pregnant and you think all day about the one thing that you want from a restaurant. It's your favorite thing, and you order it and you take 2 bites and you're like, no, can't do that. Sorry. And that got just progressively worse over the course of years. And I was in a terrible state of depression, anxiety. And it turns out that my body was in fight or flight all the time. I was in a constant state of PTSD flashback all the time. And eventually I had to step away from my practice. And that was terrifying. It's one thing to break your leg and know you're going to be in a cast for X amount of time. It's a whole other thing to break your brain and your nervous system. There's no cast for that. They can't tell me when I'm going to be better. Type A me is just going to worry about it. So, as we do when we break something, as I do, I want to learn about it. So I started reading and reading and reading. I've read about neuroplasticity, and I read about how our thoughts create our feelings, create our actions. And the more I learned about how it all works, the more I realized that I was the one in charge. And I'm extremely grateful now that my breakdown happened before COVID. I handled that so much better than I think I would have. So yeah, it turned out that I took a month off in the month of August. And then the next year, I magically decided to take a vacation for my 50th birthday in the month of July. So that's actually how my summer vacations started happening.
As you tell that story, my question is, there will have been a time where you didn't outwardly show that you were struggling.
Oh no.
But yet to leave your practice, it had to come out into the open. How did you get to that point? Because there'll be other people who are listening to this who feel
Oh
in
yeah,
a
so
similar
please don't wait
situation.
until it's this far gone, because
Yeah.
this was bad. I drank a lot drank every night, and I am a good enough, creative enough doctor that I know how to talk doctor to my doctors.
Mhm.
And I had access to a lot of medication that I probably should not have had access to.
Mm.
I didn't know who to talk to, how to talk to anyone. And I also had been in, okay, so trigger warning here, guys. I was also in complete denial that I had been assaulted. Complete denial. Never happened. It had to have been my fault. 100%. And what happened with me was my jaw locked up. For you dentists listening, I was in a closed lock on my left side.
Mm.
And I could rotate, I couldn't translate. And my office manager said, well, go to the doctor, damn it. And I did, which turned into a team of heroes.
Mm.
I had a biofeedback doctor, I had a trauma doctor, I had a psychiatrist, I had a physical therapist. And then a friend offered to try hypnotherapy with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that when you have trauma that you've not acknowledged, that's your nervous system trying to hide something from your nervous system. And that's why it took my body that long to break, was I was legit lying to myself the entire time I was conscious. And the entire time I was asleep, I was trying to figure out how to reconcile all this stuff. And when he hypnotized me, when he tried, I couldn't find a safe place. I couldn't find a safe memory. I couldn't find a safe anything in my whole head. And 1 minute I'm breathing, and the next minute I am scrambling to get out of, I'm scrambling into the back of the chair like a scared rabbit. And after that, it took, let's see, that was the end of May. The month that I took off was August. It took about that long for all my memories to start crumbling, and all the things that I lied to myself about for my whole life to not make any sense anymore. And since your memory is muscle memory, all memory is kinetic. Like I was, my doctor memory was okay, but my gross motor skills started to be affected.
Mm.
I had difficulty with balance, and don't wait, just don't wait. Mm-hmm. Please. That month that I was out of work, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I think all of that was made more complicated by the fact that I had spinal injuries as a child also, or as an adolescent, but
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate how you do share your story, and that you don't leave anything out. You really share it. And I think that's really important, because I feel in our profession, like you said, that perfectionism, that having to have that persona of I've got it, I'm good, I can handle it. I'm
right
gonna
on the outside, it looked like I
pay.
had this perfect life.
Mm-hmm.
I had the doctor house, and I had the job in the small town, and people say, "Hey, doc," when I walk down the street, and it should have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was nowhere near amazing. It didn't feel amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like one big lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's your nervous system trying to put one over on your nervous system.
That's an interesting way to put it. I have not heard that before. So thank you for sharing that. So, here you are now on the other side, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but here you are now on the other side. I'm curious, what would you say to your younger self now that you have this perspective? Because that might help somebody that maybe is a little bit behind you in this journey.
You are 100% not alone. I got your back. Honestly, so it's funny that you asked that question, because the therapy that I did was EMDR. And I went back and I comforted little bitty me. And that's exactly what I told her. I was like, girl, I got you. And what else would I say to myself? I don't know. Not supposed to say I don't know on an interview.
There's no right answer.
Mm-mm.
And it's okay to not know.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm going to think about that. So I appreciate that question.
Yeah.
That's good.
Were there any like
Oh,
early warning signs that you look at now and you go, oh,
my blood pressure, 100%. My diet falling way off and just not ever feeling like eating, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I started, first I was in a terrible gaslighting relationship during all of this as well. And I started like walling myself off from friends. I started withdrawing. I started not wanting to go out, not wanting to do anything. It was very normal to just stay in bed all day and scroll on the phone or flip on or have the TV on and scroll on the phone and have the computer in front of me and distract myself in 8 million ways. I was the busiest, not busy person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, to go back to that trigger thing, because I know you guys are trauma informed, the next morning, after I was assaulted, my good, sweet, well-meaning friend took me by the arm and said, "He didn't rape you, did he?" Well, you don't ask like that. Because of course the answer is no. And it's really still challenging for me to look at it that way, because I have this capacity to see things from all the sides. But assault was definitely something that happened. And I don't know, having conversations about exactly what happened and how did it happen and how are you feeling right now? You know, that'd be good. I was really impressed at the DO conference this year. Excuse me. Oh, let me grab my overly large teacup.
Yes.
Because I am magical and delicious.
Yeah.
We practiced conversations this year. And that was huge. God, I wish somebody had done that for me. I wish somebody had made me practice that. That was a skill that I did not learn until I was 50.
You know, that's such an interesting, I just love this, because I feel like we gloss over so much. When we have conversations, we spend a lot of time, just like you say, you're the most busiest non-busy person.
Not busy person. Yeah.
Conversations, we say a lot, or we talk a lot, but we don't really say a lot. Like we hit on all the stuff, the weather, the kids,
talk about our circumstances a lot. We talk about our current now and what's wrong with it.
Yeah, but we don't really dive in ever. And so I think it's really good that practicing, I think we get out of practice with it. And so you're right, practicing that, and even just having, you know, gosh, will you just listen to me?
I'll try to fix it.
Just listen. I'm just going to like spew a bunch of stuff, and will you just listen?
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that up, because I think too, as busy professionals, we're very busy and we're constantly looking for that next achievement. And sometimes we don't stop long enough to know, even we forget how, and when we do stop, we don't know what to do.
Do you know what my biggest achievement to date is? In my mind, in my opinion, and I graduated with honors. I got into hygiene school on the first try. I graduated from Carolina with honors. I've been a successful practice owner for 13 plus years now, right? I can meditate for an hour. I can hold still. Do you know how hard that is? It took me a really long time. That is, learning how to manage my mind has been profoundly one of the most challenging and rewarding things that I've ever learned how to do. And I can cut a quick crown.
Multi-talented.
I know. I love that that's your crowning achievement. No pun intended there.
Yeah.
But because, and I think that it's coming out more and more, but that really is the foundation of how we create our lives. We think it's everything we do, right?
But it's not the doing.
More what we, yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So you kind of walked us through that time. And it brought you to a place where you got into learning about laughter. So I'd love to go into this.
It's true, right? So I started out learning about all the neuroscience-y stuff. And back in 2018, one of the things my trauma therapist suggested was laughter yoga. And I didn't even Google it. I was like, yeah, great, sure. And because when you feel miserable, there's this comforting safety in feeling miserable. And it's easier to just stay feeling miserable. So I kind of just filed that away in the back of my brain. And then, COVID happened. And now all of a sudden I can take a class by somebody taught in India. So I was like, okay, well, let me just see what this is. And I found out, so my philosophy is if you can learn more about it, learn more about it. And when I was trying to get back into dental school, my thought process was, well, I'm going to be 40 anyway. I might as well be a doctor. So when I found out that I could just take laughter yoga for 4 weeks, or I could take it for 8 weeks and be able to teach it, I was like, well, I'll just do that. So what I love about laughter yoga is it bypasses the thought. It's retraining your nervous system on a body, on a somatic level. So what we do with laughter yoga is we initiate laughter as an exercise, and it feels super awkward at first. And with eye contact and a little bit of childlike playfulness, it's going to catch, and then you're just going to laugh. Your body and your brain don't know the difference. So if you laugh for as little, it takes between 45 and 90 seconds for your body to start making serotonin and dopamine. If we look each other in the eye, or you do it in the mirror, or you hold up your phone and you film yourself doing it, then you'll get oxytocin too, which is, the I love you chemical. So it's not laughter because we're watching funny videos. It's laughter without jokes, comedy, or humor. And it's called laughter yoga because we try to prolong the exhale. And the idea is we're moving the air. So instead of with traditional yoga where we pose and we breathe, we pantomime normal circumstances. A lot of times I pantomime triggering circumstances, and I laugh with people. Because if you can get your body to go, oh, don't do the thing, then that's huge. So.
All right. So can you give us an example of a triggering circumstance that we could laugh about?
I can.
Are we going to do it? Can we do it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a little scared.
I really want to. I'm going to teach you 2 of my favorite laughter yoga exercises. This first one is the triggering one. Okay. So you're going to hold your hands up. This only works if you laugh with me, ladies. Okay.
Okay.
So please laugh with me.
Well, we're a recovering perfectionist too, so we're going to try and do this.
All right. I promise you're going to feel amazing when this is over. So in our hands here, we have our pretend credit card bill, and it's really bad. Okay. So in a minute, we're going to open up our credit card bill, and we're going to show it to each other, and we're going to laugh. Okay. And it's bad. Okay. So ready?
Okay.
It's bad. They're really bad.
We have a cheer in laughter yoga. We clap finger to finger, palm to palm, and we say, very good, very good. Yay! So let's do that.
Okay.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Yay! Oh, shit, this is a power pose. We stand here because it just brings all these great feelings to you. Now, when I teach this, I have people go around the room and we all show each other our pretend credit card bills. It's a little harder on Zoom, but I try to make sure everybody has enough time to eyeball everybody else. And the next time you open your credit card bill, your
Just
body's
laugh.
going to go, yeah, serotonin. It's not that bad.
It's better than feeling like physically sick when you look at your credit card bill.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that the idea there is I'm trying to deactivate a body feel.
Mm-hmm.
I have other exercises for trying to activate a better body feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get, from crappy to awesome. There's baby steps in between.
Right.
Right.
I noticed though, if I could reflect that as we continued, I did start to feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I was a little nervous to do it. I didn't know what you were going to have us do. And then I did feel that moment of, oh crap, that bill sucks. And, I really did have that feeling. And so, but as we continued to laugh and see each other laugh, I felt better.
Excellent. Yay. So
there's something that takes over automatically.
Mm-hmm.
You start it has to be a very intentional, I'm going to laugh and make myself laugh. But then after a while, it doesn't take long until your brain is just copying other people, getting in and then it just self-potentiates, doesn't it?
So thank you, mirror neurons. Yes. And because of mirror neurons, even if you don't participate, but you just watch.
You get it.
One of my sons helps me set up when I teach locally, but he doesn't actually join in. That's okay. He's getting some of it. But yes, and when you activate your diaphragm, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And when you're laughing, you can't think thoughts. Meditative process.
So it's meditative too.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, I'm curious, because you do this now so often, you teach it, it's part of your life. Do you laugh easier all the time now?
I laugh easier every day. And I try to laugh intentionally now every day. And I won't lie, I skip a lot of days. I have a WhatsApp group and we check in with each other and we try to laugh. We try to do a video. It's funny. In order to get my certification, one of my requirements was to film myself doing all the exercises and upload it to the group. So no shy. And then I was also encouraged to laugh for 1 minute every day for 40 days. Because 40 days to habit. And 1 minute is good. It takes between 45 and 90 seconds to start dumping out serotonin and dopamine. And the logic there is that when you laugh, you change yourself. And when you change yourself, you change the world. So the name of the challenge is the 1 minute laughter exercise for world peace. And I try to just do it, and I can breathe in and I can get like a really good bit of air out after about 15 seconds, and then it's that next deep breath in, and you're like, oh God, I still have to laugh. And I'm not really triggered yet. And then I just keep going. And it's harder by yourself. It's really hard when you feel like crap. It is. And sometimes
that's probably the most important time to do it, right?
It is the perfect time to do it. So I do this in my practice, especially lately. I've seen a big increase with people's blood pressures lately. People coming in with uncontrolled high blood pressure. And maybe it's because we're paying more attention post-COVID. I don't know. But I mean, I've got a lot of people that I'm like, dude, you need to go to the ER. How are you walking?
Wow.
And I've had a lot of folks that I'll just sit down and I'll breathe with them, and I'll try to just do box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing with them. And then some of them, if I get them to play with me, we'll laugh. And I'll teach them 3 or 4 exercises, and I'll grab a staff member because it's really awkward feeling. But we'll gather around in the operatory, and then we'll take their blood pressure again, and their diastolic will be down by 10 points.
Amazing.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's fast. I mean, mean, Norman Cousins, when he was diagnosed, I believe it was, I don't remember what his cancer was, but he was diagnosed and not given long to live. He decided he was going to go watch funny stuff on TV.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to be said for laughter as medicine.
Mm-hmm. I love that you're passing that on to your patients and really then showing them the science, like showing them their blood pressure before, showing them after. Like that's very probably that probably cements it in their life that, oh, this is something that easy free that I can employ in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're sharing laughter with, it sounds like, local groups, you do it online with your patients. And if people follow you on social media, if they don't already, they should do, because you're also sharing some of this magic of laughter yoga and lots of other things in tropical destinations and in destinations around the US. So tell us a little bit about that and what our audience could participate in.
After that first vacation that was horrifying, I took another vacation, and it was pretty bad because I had never traveled by anywhere far by myself, and then the year after that was COVID, and I had hired an associate. Even though the numbers did not bear out that I needed one, I decided I needed the help, and my stress level was way high, and I was very snappy. And she said to me, "Doc, I really think you need to take a vacation." And I pushed back and I said, "Fine, I'll take a couple days." "Doc, you need to take 2 weeks." And she was so right. She said to me, "You're going to take the first 10 days trying to relax." And yeah, it was the first time I had been away from my practice for any length of time. And I took 2 weeks, and I really enjoyed the hell out of the last 2 days. But I decided I wanted to keep doing that. Right. So I got back, and I was so much more clear-headed. I had a meeting with my office manager the next day, and she said, "Okay, can we please schedule next year's vacation right now?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am, let's do that." And so the next year I drove down the coast of Oregon in a convertible. That's what I did. And the year after that, I decided on a tropical destination, and I invited 10 of my adult friends, and 4 of them came. I was able to teach laughter yoga on Water Island, which is right off the coast of St. Thomas, where it is stunning one day and beautiful the next, and you just can't go wrong. That was my largest grown-up vacation to date, because I had somebody minding my shop for me, and that's when it hit me. You got to get out of your head to get out of your head and put new stuff in. I mean, you need to let out what is not serving you. And if you can do that, surrounded by beautiful scenery and doing new things that you've never done before, what a great way to start cementing a new habit. What a great way to let go of all the crap that you're carrying around. Right? So I hosted my first retreat in November. And I took a group of women to a private villa off the coast of Puerto Rico on a little island called Vieques. And we explored mindfulness, we journaled, we really bonded with each other. We sang badly, loudly, and it was awesome. And we got to go kayaking on the bioluminescent bay in these glass bottom kayaks. It was the night before the new moon, so it was as dark as you could have done it. And you stick your hand in the water, and it glows in the dark. And so that was beyond magical for me. But it's my goal now to help people have magical experiences, help them, figure out how to be happier. I'm tons happier now that I go on vacation. Right. I didn't go on vacation for the first 8 years that I owned my office. I can't leave. What would they do? Guess what? They are so much happier when I come back.
Well, I love how your office manager supported you and said, "Okay, let's schedule the next one." Like that was a very affirming, support from her. And so you're right. And I think you are so correct that a lot of people don't feel they can leave, and then are scared because maybe they haven't traveled for a long time. And, we are post-COVID. So if you haven't traveled since that, it can be a little scary. So I love that you bring that, hey, it was scary for me. This is what I've learned. I can help you get more comfortable quicker and have a good time too.
And here's the thing, what I'm trying to do now is just incorporate every retreat I've ever been on and take all the good stuff that I like and just use that. So it's my goal to have an intimate, I don't ever want more than a dozen people. You can't get to know a lot of people, like maybe 10 people. And I don't want to have to think about food. Y'all don't have to think about food. I got you. I got your transportation. I got your food. And I have one amazing, something awesome, cool that we're going to do. And we're going to have plenty of downtime. That was a big must in my book here, because how many times do you go to a conference and this amount of the city that you see is the Uber ride?
Yep.
From the Yeah. You know what I've seen of Dallas? The cab ride.
Yep.
Yeah. And I hate that. I want to see these places.
Yeah.
So the idea is we do hard stuff, this kind of hard stuff. We do intention setting. We dream. I ask them hard, like the first night. I ask everybody. I ask people today. My staff's working on vision boards this month, so I asked them today. I was like, "What do you want? If nothing you wanted was bad or wrong, what would you want?" 3 to 5 years has passed. What do you want? What makes your heart happy? What makes you go, that? So I'm looking at locations in the U.S. I'm thinking about Colorado, and you guys said thank you so much for that earlier. I'm thinking about Colorado in July, and I'm thinking about maybe North Carolina or Maine in August. And then the big surprise is I'm going to be hosting 7 days in Bali. That's right, I said Bali. 7 days in Bali at the end of October, beginning of November. And again, I've got your food. I've got all the things. Just come and be. Just come and be. Let go of what you don't need and pick up what you do need.
I want to go right now. So if somebody's listening and they're curious, they're like, yeah, this sounds like I want to learn more. I want to explore. What's the best way to get a hold of you? What's the best way to learn more about you? All that.
Best way to learn more about me. Oh gosh, I am the Laughter Fairy on social. I'm laughter.fairy on Insta, and I think I might be just Laughter Fairy on Facebook. And it is thelaughterfairy.com, which is currently not updated with Bali, but hold tight, we're okay. And other than that, I'm just Laura Collatz. You can find me Laura Ann, and there's not a lot of Collatzes out there, so not a nice unique name. I'm so excited about this, and the feedback that I got from the last retreat, I mean, it was a big step out of these ladies' comfort zones, and I get that. I do. And I asked Sunny, so what would you tell somebody else? She's if they were, hemming and hawing. She said, "Oh my God, just do it," because you'll feel so much better. I wish I'd done That's what I would tell younger me. God, I wish I'd done that sooner. I wish I'd gotten rid of the stuff that didn't serve me sooner. I wish I'd stood up for myself sooner. Yeah. So I think we all live 2 lives, and the second one starts the minute we realize we only get one.
Yep.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
That's a mic drop quote.
What's that?
That's a mic drop quote. That was a
nice quote.
That was a good quote. That's going on the assets for the podcast for sure.
I like it. Cool. I'll take credit for that. I don't know where I heard it, but I'll take credit for it.
Awesome.
I didn't pick it up, but I did hear it someplace. I promised you one more laughter exercise.
Yes. Let's end with that. Yeah.
Okay. So I need you guys to laugh because I'm going to be talking through part of this. So just trust
Okay.
me. Okay.
Okay.
This is my favorite exercise for dentists. This works both sides of your brain and both sides of your body somatically.
Okay.
Okay. So this is hand washing. How many crap thoughts can go through your brain while you're washing your hands? I've done this exercise. I've like done a speech where I'm pretending and they're spitting stuff out at me. No. Okay, so we're gonna pretend to wash our hands,
okay.
and while we're all laughing, I'm gonna interject some things. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna make some sound effects. So this is the good wash. Ready? So do the back of your hand. Do your pinky. Get under your nail. Do the next finger. Do the social finger. Do your index finger. Back your hand again. And now you're going to do the next hand, okay?
Okay.
Don't forget your nail. Now it usually hurts right about now. My cheeks get sore. Okay, we're gonna rinse our hands off. There we go. Shake them off. All right. Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Yay!
Okay.
So, even if you just did that exercise one time, that will stay with you for at least a month. Every time you wash your hands, your body's going to go serotonin. Because that's a whole lot less threatening than looking at the scary credit card bill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh.
How many times a day do you wash your hands as a
Oh
dentist?
my gosh. So
All of them?
many. Yeah.
All of the times? Yes. So this is a really easy body hack.
My cheeks hurt.
Easy body hacks.
Okay. So you know what I think about, right? I go right there is, as a dentist, when you be washing your hands and that patient sitting in the chair and they say, nothing personal, doc, but I hate the dentist. I mean, just go into your laughter.
Yep. Something I try to do. One of my clients, my laughter clients, told me that she does this. I try to do a lot of segment intention, and before I walk through the threshold into the room, I pause briefly at the door to the operatory, and I tell myself, "This is gonna go great. It's gonna go great." Because if you tell yourself it's gonna be terrible, it's gonna be terrible. I mean, why would you tell yourself that? Tell yourself it's gonna be awesome. You guys know that I think I'm in the process of selling my mom's house, and I've decided it's going to be easy and fun.
Nice.
Why would I want it to be anything but easy and fun?
Right. So powerful. Wow. Thank you. This has been an absolute delight, and I know that our listeners are going to find all sorts of pearls and encouragement from this podcast. So thank you for sharing. Thanks for going through the hard stuff with us and showing us how that it's possible, you're not alone, and you can create the life you want.
Absolutely. I love you guys both so much. I hope you both know that.
Yeah, we really love you right back. So
my cheeks hurt now.
I know. now I need a little massage, but
it's my cheeks and my abs.
Yeah.
We have another exercise that I teach, but that always makes your abs hurt.
I'd rather my cheeks hurt though from laughing than clenching. So let's leave it there.
100%.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone know that we will make sure all the show notes include all the information so you can find Dr. Laura Collatz and everything about her laughter, everything about her retreats. And once again, thanks so much. Thank you, listeners. We adore you as well. So thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Mint Door Podcast.
Bye.
Awesome.